Hello guys and welcome back to another UCL Fantasy video. Today I'm going to present to you my team selection for the upcoming Matchday 11. Of course, I reserve the right to change the team because a lot of news can happen, a lot of things may occur during the preparations too, but at time of recording this will be my team selection for the upcoming week. Before that, we're going to discuss briefly the games for the upcoming round of 16 and what do I think about it. I've mentioned it several times, but for those of you that have not been here yet, that's a preview for you. Then I'm going to review my Matchday 10 team because I didn't get the opportunity to do it as of yet. So I'm going to take a look at what made me jump back into the top 1k, and then I'm going to present to you my Matchday 11 team selection. Before that, you're going to see my current draft, but all can change there. If you want to show your appreciation and help me reach my targets, please subscribe to the channel. I am aiming for 3k subscribers before the beginning of the match day. Let's see if that is possible or not, but I know that you can make everything possible. Now let's go and see those games. So here are the fixtures for the upcoming Matchday 11. Of course, I've already discussed them as mentioned, but I wanted to go through them once again with the latest information that we have about the teams and if we have something to consider. Starting with Bruges Aston Villa, I think the best Bruges asset is injured / suspended. I'm not exactly sure what's the case there, but he's going to be missing, while Villa are full speed ahead, and I think they have been playing really well as of recent, especially after the star players joined like Asensio, Malen and Rashford. I think the team has just been better, and I think that they have been playing very well, and I think that there are very high favorites in my eyes. Then we move to PSV Arsenal. PSV have not been in the greatest of forms. Arsenal, to be fair, also have not been in the greatest of forms, but I still would fancy the English team to proceed forward. Of course, Saka is the main threat from Arsenal and he's missing, so I would highly doubt that I will go for any Arsenal player, but in attack, but in defense, I think I can safely double up and feel content with my decision. Then moving next to Dortmund and Lille, I think that this game is a very good game for Dortmund. Lille has been struggling as of recent, and I think that Dortmund can capitalize. Most of you will say that Dortmund have been struggling. That's true. But I think that they're entering a very good run of form, and I think that they will be able to play it and to beat Lille. How many players you went for Dortmund? I think 2 is an okay number. Anything above, it's a little bit extra, but it's completely your choice. You're going to see my decisions there. Then we go to Real versus Atleti. Bellingham is suspended for that game, which can prove very interesting for the upcoming fixture. We have a bad form of Real Madrid, to be fair, but in UCL, that is Real Madrid, and I would not bet too much for them to score a lot of goals. On the other hand, Atletico Madrid have been in good form, and they have proven that they can defeat anyone, and they've met Real Madrid probably the most in their lifetime. So I think that attacker from Atleti might be a good option also, but we will get into that later. Feyenoord Inter Milan, I think that here we have the clearest favorites in that game, and that is Inter Milan. I know that Feyenoord defeated AC Milan, but Inter are just a better team. There is a major issue with the goalkeeper position for Inter, as Zomer is injured, but the backup Martinez is doing quite well. Di Marco went out with an injury, so I don't know what's going to be the case there still, but yeah, I think Inter are the clear favorites. Benfica Barcelona, I think it's a very high scoring game, but Barcelona will proceed. Sadly, Benfica just got the unluckiest throw. If they were in any other bracket apart from the first and second team, I think that they would have had more chance. But now against Barcelona, I think it's going to be a very high scoring game, but Barcelona will take it home. Paris Saint-Germain Liverpool, it's the biggest 50-50 in my opinion here. I see both teams in great shape, great form. Both are leading their representative leagues very comfortably and can safely focus their main team in that tournament, being UCL. And I think that this is going to be a very tight game. A lot of goals may be scored, so I would not avoid both of their teams. And then we go to Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen. Here, I'm just not a fan of Bayern Munich this season. I don't know why, but in my eyes, they are just not doing enough, and they have been a little bit struggling. Of course, players like Harry Kane can always be an option, Kim also, but I just see Leverkusen with higher potential, especially in defense, as their defenders are flying high and you can easily get some attacking returns even if they concede. But yeah, let's go and see how I did in match day 10. It will be a brief summary and then we'll proceed with the match day 11 team, which I bet you are all here for. So here is a quick summary of my match day 10 team. It did better than expected to say, but not as good as I wanted it to go. So Di Gregorio replaced my keeper. The other keeper was Neuer. 2-pointer. Let's quickly brief the bench before going up because all of those players didn't perform in the first day. Neuer, Kane, and Ulise. Ulise was one of my transfers. Felt so poor in that week. To be fair, I was not going to pick Benfica players. So yeah, Ulise did alright. And Jimisci, pure disappointment. But for the banter, I got him. Then moving swiftly to the team, Di Gregorio came and did better than Neuer with his 3 points. Now he's gone out of the UCL, but yeah, did the job. Otamendi 2-pointer after the performance that he had last time around, but this time the fixture was way harder for Benfica. They almost went out, but at the end they managed to score and continued forward in the tournament. Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, probably the stars of the defense this tournament. For this round, let's say round of six, playoff round. 13 points with Nuno Mendes, 10 with Hakimi. I don't think you can get better. And Zappacosta 4 points. So on assist for my other transfer, I should have went with Zappacosta in the first place and could have replaced something else. But yeah, Zappacosta did an alright job. My captain Dembele, I went with Dembele over Barkova for my team or Girassi. To be fair, I was never on the Mbappe train. I don't know why, but I just didn't feel it. In hindsight, Mbappe scored 15 points more and those 15 points would have been ideal for me. But at the end of the day, Dembele kept a clean sheet and at least was not substitute off before the 60th minute. Foden, utter disappointment, happy to get rid of him as soon as possible. The same can be said for Pulisic, who at least didn't get sent off, unlike Theo Hernandez in that week. When I saw that Pulisic got a 3-pointer, I was like, okay, I see my first player that's going out. But after that, Bayern played so poorly. And yeah, I was just, Pulisic is going to remain. 3 points, it's okay. And we have Barco with 11. So this week he outscored Dembele. This day he outscored Dembele and got me 11 points up front. Girassi, instead of getting 9 points with a penalty goal, he got me 0 points because he missed a penalty. Not the worst thing that can happen, especially with the way that he has been performing. This guy has been sensational and I cannot be sad about it. Mbappe finally outscored Vini. Is it the time to switch between Vini and Mbappe and just rely on Mbappe? We'll know further down the road, but as it looks, as of now, Mbappe is regaining confidence and can easily score more and more goals as he will be fighting for the personal accolades now more than ever. The team overall 72 points, nothing too amazing, but got me up to 928. So that's a very good thing to add into the mix. Now let's go and see match day 11, how it's looking, because this is going to be one of the most important decisions that I make, how to structure my squad and who to go for. So before we go into my new team selection, I want to present to you the current one because I think it outlines the shapes of the team pretty well. So I went with Zomer and Raya. Zomer is injured, so he will leave the team, but yeah, Arsenal and Inter Milan duo of keepers, especially if they go forward, it's going to be okay to have them in the keepers department. So I think it's an okay move to make and an okay position to be. I like how both teams defend. Of course, if Arsenal proceed forward, they will face Real Madrid, but still, I think for this week, Raya is just the best possible solution that you can get from the first day, and Zomer slash Martinez from the second. But you'll see in a second how I shape it up or if I change it. Then in defense, I think I got the teams, not the right players. I'll speak about that in a second. But the shapes are going well. Midfield, I think I'm doing well, and attack is a little bit hectic as of now. So yeah, have in mind that this was my first draft and 12 players, I think, or 10, something like that, survived. So I think it was hell of a good first draft. Now let's go and build my team selection and see what I pick and why I pick it. Starting in goal, I will not be surprising anyone. Already mentioned that the Arsenal-Inter combo for me is elite and is the best combo that you can go for, at least in my eyes. David Raya is nailed for that Arsenal team and they face PSV. I know it's away. Sorry, I'm still at price. I don't know. It always changes it. But yeah, it's PSV. For them, it's away. But as already mentioned in previous videos, those things will change. And if something is wrong with the keepers, I can always do midweek transfers. But for now, Raya remains in goal. Then we go to Josep Martinez from Inter Milan. I know several people have mistaken it for Emi Martinez from Aston Villa, but no, this is the reserve Inter Milan keeper. I'm going for him because Sommer is injured and at the moment he is not going to play in the round of 16. Especially if you have a wild card saved, I would consider this Inter Milan keeper. Here, if the fixtures were alrightish, I would have went with Kjobel, but Kjobel plays on first day while he's on the second part of the bracket, on the second half. So that means if for any chance Dortmund go through, I will have Inter and Dortmund keepers, which I don't like, or Arsenal and Dortmund right now. So yeah, not a fan of it. So Arsenal, Inter, perfect split for me, and I'm really happy without it. With it, sorry. Of course, there is a hard option for Emi Martinez, not Emi Martinez, sorry, Sommer to be back into contention, but I don't think he will be risked, especially if they take a nice lead in the first leg. He will be then used for the quarters because I really do believe that nothing is stopping Inter from proceeding to the quarters. And at the end of the day, I think they have the best defense in the UCL at the moment. There are several other options. You can risk it with Donnarumma and or Alisson for your team if you want to bet on some teams to proceed, because after that they will face Villa/Bruges, and I think that's one of the easiest runs. You can risk it with a Barca keeper. I'm not a fan because they tend to concede a lot, and the goalkeepers, it's better if they keep clean sheets. Real and Athletic keepers, no, not right now. I'm avoiding their defenses, both of the teams, because I think it will be a high scoring game. I don't know why, but I see it as a game where both teams concede, probably 1-1 the game will finish, but at the end of the day, it's still a scoring game. Then, who am I missing here? Emi Martinez is an option, but I really don't fancy the Aston Villa defense. They have been conceding left, right, and center. I know that Emi Martinez is around 40-ish points, which is not a bad shout out for a goalkeeper, but it's not a great feat. And after that, facing PSG or Liverpool, if they proceed, it's going to be very, very bad. So for now, Inter Milan and Arsenal keeper in goal for me. Let's move into defense because I've made some changes there. Going into defense, the shape of the team and the teams that I've selected remain the same, but I'm adding two different players into the frame, and I have a very good reasoning in my eyes to do so. Starting with the nailed ones, I'm going with De Vrij. You are going to argue why not Dumfries, because in the long term I think De Vrij is nailed. I see if some of my defenses go out, Dumfries to be added as a good option, but I really do think that De Vrij is the ultimate option from Inter Milan defense. Nailed center back with a lot of ball recoveries, with a very high clean sheet potential, and with nailed minutes. I don't think it gets better than that. Of course, it's another away fixture, as already mentioned, with my keeper, but at the end of the day, I think that is more than enough to have at the moment, and De Vrij makes the list pretty easy. Then we go to Grimaldo. Here it was a 50-50 between him and Frimpong. Honestly, I cannot separate them. If you can help me separate them, please do so, but I'm just a fan of Grimaldo as he takes some free kicks and he may score from there, and that's the only thing that I have more for him. Both will possibly play left and right wings for for Bayer Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. I know it's an away fixture, but still I think even because it's an away fixture, it's going to be way more structured defensive performance from Bayer Leverkusen. I was even looking to double up in their defense, but let's not underestimate Bayern Munich so hard. Of course, Bayern Munich are a heavy team that I'm omitting here in my defense, but honestly, I have been hurt so much by Bayern Munich this season, probably that I will not be relying currently on them. That might be a mistake, may not be, but for now I will be avoiding the Bayern Munich defense. Moving then to Gabriel, a player that has not left any of my drafts or anything or teams that I've done, because I think he has been probably top 3 defenders in the world this season, and him having that attacking potential and that good clean sheet of a potential and a lot of ball recoveries play very well into his hands. I haven't seen a team without Gabriel. I don't know who's going to risk it that way, but yeah, Gabriel, amazing player to add. Now we move to Ben Sabiani, and I'm going to explain why I went there. I was on Schlotterbeck, who in hindsight is probably the safer pick. But why should I play it safe? I think that Lille fixture for Borussia Dortmund is an okay fixture. Of course, if they go out, and even if they don't go out, I will probably swap them for PSG or a Liverpool defender. Because if Dortmund go through, they will face Barcelona, and I'm not a very big fan of having defenders against Barcelona. So yeah, Ben Sabiani is just a placeholder, and if I'm risking it for a 1 week, one match day, not match day, one round of UCL in hindsight, yeah, I'm going with the riskier option because I'm taking him out regardless. So yeah, versus Lille at home, first fixture in first day. So that's my first day player. No, I lied. Arsenal is also first day, but yeah, only 2 defenders playing on the first day. And Ben Sabiani has been very good since coming back, and I think that he can improve even more. Then the final player here is Koundé, and I know a lot of you hate it when I have a Barcelona defender there, but my reasoning is a little bit different. So not having Hakimi, Mendes, Van Dijk, Trent, it will hurt a lot, but I really do believe that Barcelona is going through. If they go through, they will have one of the easiest runs facing Dortmund or Lille, whoever it is. So yeah, I would say that Barcelona defender will help me save transfers in the future. I don't think that they're that bad in hindsight. Yes, they've not been brilliant, but they can keep a clean sheet, and Koundé in particular can be involved in a lot of the goal scoring attacks. Now, Koundé is picked above Kubrasi and Inigo Martinez because there is a player called Araujo who is back into contention, and I can see some shenanigans happening in UCL, so this pick is just for the Leones. Of course, I can go for Baude, but I don't fancy him as much as Koundé because Koundé has a lot of ball recoveries potential, so Koundé will go on the right back position, and I can keep him for the next 4 fixtures, which for me is the okay move to make. Of course, if I'm on a wildcard strategy in quarters, I'm not picking a Barcelona defender because they don't play that well defensively. But if I'm going for longevity from now up until the end of the UCL, I would need players that are heavy favorites, and Barcelona are heavy favorites, and points are better than known points. So yeah, of course, Hakimi is the player that I'm most scared of not owning, as he has been absolutely stupendously good, but I don't know what to think about it. Yeah, so yeah, probably if they go through after the game against Liverpool, I will get Hakimi. If they don't, I will have saved myself a transfer out. So yeah, it's a little bit 50-50, looking ahead, risking it a little bit in that sense, but I think that is the way that I want to move forward here. Bayern Munich defender Kim was another option that I really considered, but I just don't fancy Bayern Munich going through, honestly. I know that they are the team with more experience, but it's not for me. Frimpong already mentioned, Dumfries already mentioned, Saliba is an option that is good. You can go for some Aston Villa defense, but I really don't fancy it. Real Madrid, I don't fancy. Benfica, no way, even though Otamendi has been really good so far. Lille, no. Feyenoord, PSV, no. So yeah, I think those 5 teams do very well for me in defense. So yeah, that's it for the defense. Let's move to midfield. The midfield picks itself. Honestly, I haven't thought about any changes. The only change that I could have made was Bellingham, but Bellingham is suspended, sorry, so no Bellingham. Yeah, we'll start player by player, why I pick them and why I go for them. The only there are several no penalty takers here, but only 2 are penalty takers if I think about it, but the other players are just so talismanic, so good. Let's start player by player. I already mentioned that PSG versus Liverpool in my eyes is going to be a very open game with a lot of goals, so it makes sense to get the best players from their teams, Dembele and Mohamed Salah. Salah is on pens, Dembele is not, as we've seen Vitinha take on 1, but Dembele has been in the form of his life, probably the best player in 2025 so far, has been scoring left, right and center, has been playing on the right wing, had been playing in the striker position, and I really do believe that he's going to be playing in the striker position. Liverpool tend to control some games, so getting behind their backs sometimes gets easier, especially if they're chasing. So Dembele on the counter, I think, is going to be a very, very scary thing to consider. Of course, owning one Liverpool and one PSG player means that I will have to waste a transfer for any one of them going out and selecting players for the quarterfinals, but that's an issue that I'm ready to take for, not unlike defense, but here with midfielders, those guys are just detrimental for their teams, and I couldn't imagine myself going there. I would say that Hakimi first day and probably then switch to another defender in match day 2 will be okay. Match day 12 will be okay, but yeah, booking transfers midweek is not something that I fancy with so many injuries happening left, right, and center, and so many suspensions around the tournament. No way. For now, I think that Salah and Dembele make the list. Then we move to Rafinha, and this is the guy that I'm most sad of not owning for the whole season. I just didn't know how well he integrated into that Barcelona team. He is just out of this world. He plays like a man reborn, and I think that he's just amazing. He has proven himself to score in the most vital of moments for Barcelona, and for me, having him as an attacker from their team is the only thing that I need. Honestly, yeah, Lewandowski is currently in the skirts of my team, but possibly will be going out. But still, yeah, Rafi versus Benfica. Last time he got man of the match with 2 goals. I think that he can do easily the same. They just got the game on Sunday. They defeated Sociedad. He didn't deliver anything, but he delivers in the big games and when it matters. So I think now is the time. Morgan Rogers, I've seen a lot of dilemmas about that position. I've seen a lot of players going with Wirtz, Salah, Rafi and Dembele, and the Rogers position has been interchangeable. Of course, Asensio is an amazing option. He has played a lot of minutes in UCL. He has won it several times, so Asensio is a very, very great option. Also, you have Bailey from Aston Villa, not that nailed. Rashford, Watkins, and Malen are forward. Malen is not even registered, so Rashford and Watkins are forwards. So the midfield position from Villa for me should be Morgan Rogers. He just got a rest in FA Cup and he will be ready to play full 90 minutes in the UCL tournament, and he has proven himself to be a better UCL player than Prem player, so I'm going to take him into consideration. Of course, this saves me a lot of money, not that I need money. Somehow I ended up on 108 million without chasing it, so mind-blowing. But yeah, how I gathered 8 million is beyond me, but yeah, still amazing way to move to the team and to add to the player here. Of course, you can go for options from Bayern Munich, Musiala, Ulisse, Kimmich, Coman, Gnabry. They are all options, but I'm not a fan at the moment there. You can of course go for no Real players, no Atleti. Yamal is an option, of course. Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, all good options that you can go for. Gittens and Tadeyemi, so I don't think I mentioned them, but they're good. You can risk it with some shenanigans with Dutch midfielders that I would not recommend. But yeah, that position for me was the debatable one, but still I'm going to believe in Morgan Rogers. And the final position here is going for Florian Wirtz. I know I'm betting for Bayern Munich to lose, and if they don't, I will have to take out for sure already 4 players, which is quite a lot. But if I see that Leverkusen are on the verge of being eliminated, I will just start preparing and I'll just take them out before that, because I will have 2 Leverkusen, Inter goalkeeper, one of Dembele or Salah, and one of my forwards that you will see in a second going out. Sorry about that, and that's only my not nailed players, so that's a lot of things to consider. But I may even take a hit, I may even play with 1 player less, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's why I'm getting a player like Kunde, just to have someone to play there. Just get me the 90 minutes, just get me something in return, and I'll be happy. But yeah, for now the midfield is set. I'm not going to make any changes there. Now let's go and see how the forward line is looking, because here I'm a little bit with question marks. I don't know how to go with it. Do I care if players face off against each other, or do I not? We'll see and we'll talk about it. Here is the forward line that will cause probably several heads to turn away and to see and ask what the hell is this stupid YouTube content creator doing. Sorry about that, but yeah. Let's start with the obvious pick, and that's being Girassi. Against Liu, I don't see why you should be targeting anything else apart from a pen taker that has delivered in how many? 9 out of 10 match days, which can be said about no one else. So yeah, I think Girassi basically picks himself, and it's a pretty obvious player to add. Then going for Mbappe, a Real player is going to be included. Either way, it's either going to be Vini or Mbappe, but for me, with very 50-50 mindset, I might be going with Mbappe just because he has been finding form as of recent and we want to extend that. Probably Vini will be better against teams going further down the road, but Mbappe for now, I think it's the perfect option for match day 1 of match day 11, day 1, of course. And that's why I select him here. And finally here it's Julian Alvarez. I know that here a lot of people will say, but you have so many players that can go out and be blah 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 blah. Yes, I do, but away from home, that's why I'm selecting Alvarez, because he plays away and that will turn even more people against my choice. But Atleti will play defensively on Santiago Bernabeu most probably, and on the counter the best player they have is Julian Alvarez. He has proven that against Bayer Leverkusen, where they were with 10 people and he managed to score 2 goals on the counter. So yep, I'll be going for Julian Alvarez for matchday 11 because he's on penalties as of recently, with Griezmann missing 1 important and Alvarez scoring 1. Then I'll be going with the goal scorer from them, and he has been in a pretty okay form, so I don't see why I'm not going there. Yes, there are 5 changes in my team. I'll just walk it in and move into a next slide for you to see how it's going to set up for each day of the match day, and we will be perfectly aligned there, and I think have the ideal number to begin with. Let's see how it goes, and I think I nailed it on this time. So here is how the team is looking for match day 11 at the moment, and who we have playing on the first day and on the second. So the team currently shapes up in this form. It doesn't matter who I put in from the 5th, but from the 4th, I now increased my number to 7 players. We're starting with David Ryan, Gabriel from Arsenal, pretty good defensive pair. Then we move to Ben Sabiani and Girassi, another great pair to have in this exact moment, and a very solid option to go into your team from Dortmund players. Then we have 2 forwards facing against each other, Mbappe and Alvarez, but I think both will do pretty okay-ish, and at the moment they're day 1, so that's even one more thing into defense from Alvarez, because I can sub him off in day 2 if he doesn't perform well. So yeah, that's good. And Morgan Rogers is the only midfielder that I'll have playing for the moment. Mbappe is my captain, and I think I'm going to stick with it. Of course, a lot can change before the deadline, but on the bench I have 4 players playing on March 5th, so that's the second day. Martinez, Rafi, Wirtz and De Vrij will come in as a subs if they're needed. If I don't get players to take out, Kunde will be benched. Of course, possibly we'll bench someone like De Vrij if it's not going all too right, but I think that I'll have blankers and I'll have players to bring in, as it's still early doors and I'll have a lot of time to recover if something happens. But already on 7 players, I feel quite confident, and all of my 3 forwards playing on day 1, it's pretty critical, as I've seen that a lot of the times my forwards are the most disappointing ones, and I can easily take them out if something happens. So that would prompt possibly to a transfer out for some of them in match day 12. But that's for a completely different video, and let's focus now on match day 11. Please write down in the comments what do you think about this team. I think I pretty nailed it on, but yeah, I am open to suggestions as always. As per usual, special shout out to the members of the channel. I know that no one is watching this part ever. I may move it at the beginning so people know, but yeah, a special shout out to everyone: Seth, Florin, Zach, Oscar, Skauserhem. You have been of a very great help of my channel and the growth of it, so thank you so much. If you want to become members of the channel and earn some perks, please click the links down in the description. If you want to join the league, there is the league code in the description. You can join it. If not, you can always subscribe to the channel. It's completely for free and you'll be helping me to reach my goals. Tomorrow's vid will try to follow some press conferences, some team news, if we have something from the managers that we need to discuss or something like that, and we'll cover as much as possible. And of course on Tuesday, don't forget to tune in for the deadline stream, because for certainty there is going to be one. But for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye!